How's it going? Troy, TXRC Productions, 3DR Solo Owners, Group ATX Drone Space, Drone, Multi-Rotor, Reviews, Tips, Tricks, Unboxings. We unboxed the Explorer from Hobbyco / XiroDrone yesterday. Very impressive with not only the overall packaging, but the packaging and design of the copter is really well thought out, and I like it. A few small features that are really great, but also could need a little tweaking. I'll point out the leg design. It's really awesome that you can fold these up or keep these undone to make either a low profile for no gimbal or raise it up with these for a taller profile for if you had the gimbal. Now, the only problem with the design of the legs is it's really easy to get one unstable by it becoming slightly bumped or knocked or whatever it be. You set it down a little too hard. It's easy to do that. In fact, I did it yesterday, and it caused what I thought might be an issue with a motor, but it actually wasn't. It was, I think, a safety kind of shut off for the motor because of the situation the copter found itself in. So what happened was I set it into some grass, and I believe that a leg kind of got tweaked as I did. And the reason it did was because I set it down and I kind of went to move it into a better position, and that's when I think the leg became unstable. So I didn't notice it until we started to fire it up. We fired it up, and one of the motors wouldn't really fire. It was kind of stagger stepping. So I almost didn't take off, but I decided when I hit the throttle, it did start to spin really normally, so I decided to take off and hover. What I did, I noticed the leg was not fully engaged. I believe that this is part of the safety checks for the copter whenever it's doing auto takeoffs and landings, as well as just, sitting there and you throttle up. I think that because it became unstable and it knew that it was unlevel, it compensated by cutting the motor off. So basically, as it possibly became unstable and tilted, it didn't fly off and flip the way that other copters have been known to do in auto landing and takeoffs with an unlevel surface. Feel free to search my YouTube. You'll find a couple of ghost flip videos of other copters. So that, I believe, is a really good feature and design of the hardware and the flight controller or whatever it is that's sensing that and kind of taking care of it. If that's the case, great job. If not, then I have a bum motor, but I don't think that's the case because it flew really well. Some other really great design features I pointed out is, I don't know for sure that they meant to do this, but the copter and the radio sit on each other very nicely. Just happened to set it down and I was like, wow, that fits really well. I don't know if that's for packaging as far as whenever it goes into some sort of case or something, or I can tell you yesterday it came in handy when I was carrying it one-handed out to my car. Pretty cool. The radio itself, some tips to note. When you get this, read the manual pamphlet instruction very thoroughly. Mine came set up in a mode 2 or mode 1 setup, I believe. Whatever it was, came in the mode that I didn't want. I believe it's mode 1. Mode 2 is what we use. So I didn't notice until I went to kind of try the startup with the props off in my house, and it wouldn't start up. So I started reading, and I realized depending on what mode you're in, depends on the CSC or the stick command to get the motors to start. So it's really easy. The radio actually comes with a few different ways of programming a few different functions by turning it on with certain buttons pressed or certain stick commands already pressed. In doing so, you can change the modes. You can also trigger the calibration that way. There's a way it's in the pamphlet, there's a way with a certain stick command while powering on to trigger calibration. A really cool feature of the calibration process is as you spin the copter, the lights will stay solid. If they start to blink or if they flutter a little bit, that means that you became a little out of balance or unlevel in your rotation, and it'll continue to make you spin it until you complete 2 full circles for the calibration with solid lights. It's a really good way of making sure that you physically see that the copter is going to be calibrated correctly and kind of teach you, how to keep it level as you do it. So I would recommend definitely doing your calibration out the box, and I would definitely start calibrating when you take it to different locations, leaving it set up in a box or not used for a week or 2 and then going out. I would just do it just to make sure because I'm not familiar with this system. Now there's other systems out there that you have to calibrate every flight dang near. People say they do. I'm not one of those folks. The 3DR Solo in particular tells you when it needs to calibrate. I only calibrate it when it does, and it's only asked me the one time out the box. Some other DJI people will tell you to calibrate every time. When I flew DJI, I only calibrated when it told me to, or if for some reason I felt like there was an issue, like I would do a stick command and it didn't respond as well as I thought it should, I would bring it down and calibrate it. For this, because I'm unaware of the full experience with it, I'm going to calibrate it only basically whenever the same situation as my old DJI copter. When I see that it needs calibration, or when I feel like it, or if I take it somewhere kind of far away, or if I let it sit for a while and then bring it out. I don't think it'll need it, but I just, be careful. The package and the design of the copter itself, again, is really, really nice and slick. The antennas, really cool the way that they're just, these little protrusions, these little kind of, I don't know what they're called, but really cool. Battery didn't take very long to charge, about 45 minutes. Radio didn't take very long to charge, about an hour. The smartphone holder is really pretty cool. Can tilt both ways. Pops right back in. Radio, nice little clean setup. Again, I like it. So that's that. I don't really have a lot else to say. It flew nice. You'll see the maiden voyage already on YouTube. It did what it's supposed to do, and I'm going to continue to fly it here and there. Unfortunately, I will not be getting the gimbal because it's not in my budget, and I just don't have the the funds, and I don't plan on having a second drone right now, especially spending money on it. So I'd love to do a review on the V gimbal, the 1081, and I'd also if I could get my hands on a G, that would be great to compare against the solo gimbal and its footage. But again, I have no plans in it, guys. Sorry about that. I'm not able to spend any money on doing that. That being said, the only drawback I would say to the full lineup is it needs a 4K camera. That 1080 camera, I'm sure it's great, and I'd love to, again, take a look at it if I ever got my hands on one. But for me, a 4K system is the standard right now, and going forward, it's going to be even a higher resolution is going to be the standard. So that's the only thing. But price point, getting into something that feels super solid for me, and I flew it already and I like it, I would, for now, recommend it as a great little startup beginner drone. We will test some more on it, some range, some applications, stuff like that. But again, without the camera, there's not a lot that I really can do or want to do. For safety reasons, I'm not going to take it out of line of sight without having a camera for sure. For other reasons, just, camera gives me some, stability and some more comfort with flying this thing a little further and a little higher and a little different. So unless I can do that, I'm just going to really play with it. It's going to serve a purpose. It was fun. It's really enjoyable to fly. I like it. So good job. Really great work, XiroDrone Hobby Co. Really look forward to flying it some more, getting some more video out there. Fly safe, fly smart, fly for fun. Fly and explore, guys. It's